of the most challenging things you can do on the NC Miata is put in poly bushings. The rear arms are easy, but these front ones can be a real pain in the ass because there's a metal sleeve in here. So this is the front upper control arm, and I'm going to show you a method that I use to get these bushings out so that we can put the new bushing in. So the first thing that I'm going to do is this top section here in the rubber has metal inside of it. So I'm going to go right down next to this piece right here with the saw and cut this down to where I get down to the bottom. That's going to be step number one, and for that I use a Sawzall, and I'm going to kind of go parallel with the control arm itself. Doing here is I've cut the metal piece up close to the sleeve, and now I want to kind of clear some of this rubber out. So now what I can see is I can see the actual sleeve that I need to notch. You can kind of see where the rubber begins and where the sleeve is here. And so we're going to cut part way through this so that we can clear it out of the way and give us a spot to press on. So I'm going to start just with the Sawzall, and I'm not going all the way over to the center sleeve, just a little bit beyond where the rubber starts. Start it with the Sawzall because what I don't want to do, I don't want to go all the way through the steel here and get into the aluminum. So then I go with regular hacksaw because I can keep it flatter. Go down just a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going all the way through it to the aluminum arm. Now I've got that little groove up there, so I'm going to take the arm and turn it. I'm going to take this screwdriver here that's blunt so that I can get on this lip here, bend this up out of the way. Now, you see, I've got a spot to where I can get right to the aluminum, my bit. So I'm going to repeat that process on this side, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, now I've got both sides bent up there. I'm going to take a little bit of PB Blaster, kind of put it in that groove there, and put some on the bottom already on the other side when I had it the other way, so that PB Blaster will help to break free any rust or corrosion that's holding it in. Next, we're going to take this over to the press and get some really fun stuff. So the next step, we're going to press this out, and a couple things that I've got. First is I have this socket here, okay? And this socket happens to be 24 millimeter. And I do that because it fits right in there just perfect to catch the little metal sleeve portion of the control arm and slide up in there. The other thing that I've got is this little tool here that I made that basically pushes down on the control arm on the two parts of the aluminum that we clear. So line that socket up, those edges right down where they hit there. So I'll show you what we got going on there. Two little angles are sitting on the edge. And that's why I prefer, rather than cutting those pieces all the way off, is leaving them, because they allow it then kind of a solid piece there that slides up in, rather than trying to get hung up on the metal piece there. So, and also it keeps us from cutting in. So now we cross our fingers and hope that this one will actually come apart. I've had them before where they won't come apart. There it goes. And it's out. You can see the PB Blaster made a big improvement of kind of breaking free any of the corrosion that would go there. You also want to be sure that your socket is the right size, that it doesn't get wedged in here. So if you get it started a little bit, kind of loosen it up, make sure that your socket isn't too big. And it can be difficult sometimes. That metal there is not very thick to find the right size socket. Now, if you can't get yours to come out with the press method, you can heat up the inside here with a torch, and you can melt all the rubber out of it, and then you can use a hacksaw to cut through here and then bend it out. Obviously, you want to be very careful that you don't cut into the aluminum arm itself as you're cutting through here, which can be a challenge. So this is the better way to do it, to where we're not risking damaging the arm itself. So if we look here, I've got 0 cuts in the piece. For this side, I have to actually turn it around to get it to fit. Here's a close-up of this. You can see it's been used before on a previous one. I was really struggling and actually bent it up a little bit, and that one I had to cut out. So you won't always get them out. Success, and I got it on video.